fire Fauci, court-martial General Milley, get rid of Biden, and fire Antony Blinken. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Rundown with Zinga. I'm your host, Zinga. We've got new digs today. The reason why we've got new digs is because our studio is under construction. So yes, this is my office. This is where the magic happens when I make rundowns. But let's get into the topic at hand. This week, we are going to discuss Antony Blinken and why his hind parts should be fired. Reason number one, Secretary of State Antony Blinken should be fired is because he's just simply a sorry excuse for a man. He doesn't take responsibility for his actions, and he's real quick to shift and blame and point fingers at everybody but himself. He doesn't give direct answers to simple questions like, hey, what the heck happened in Afghanistan? And he puts himself above others, especially our men and women in the military, and even more so, the Americans and allies that have been left behind in Afghanistan. Blinken is one of the culprits responsible for the Afghanistan fiasco, which left 13 Marines dead, nearly 200 Afghans murdered in a suicide bombing, Christians slaughtered by the Taliban, millions of dollars in military equipment left behind, little girls taken as wives for grown men, and Americans left behind in a country that is ran by the same people who planned and carried out 9/11. He, along with others, need to be held responsible for this. Reason number two, he sucks at his job. Blinken promised a responsible end to the war in Afghanistan. He failed miserably. Blinken and others in the Biden administration went on vacation hours before Kabul fell. Fox News reported on a Washington Post article. It said, quote, according to a detailed timeline of the Taliban's takeover of Kabul compiled by the Washington Post, the actions by U.S. officials in the days leading up to the collapse suggested no immediate cause for alarm. Blinken was in the Hamptons hours before Kabul fell. Jen Psaki and Andrew Bates were also out of the office. So these are people who literally thought that if we pulled out of Afghanistan, the Taliban posed no threat to take over the country. Blinken said, quote, we expect the Taliban to ensure freedom of travel, make good on its commitments on counterterrorism, and uphold the basic rights of the Afghan people. Blinken is either dumb or naive. Either way, he's a danger to America's safety. And he's got to go. To think without promises to end them that a group of people who want to see America obliterated would keep their promises and be civil is ridiculously idiotic. Reason number three, he is incapable of taking responsibility. So according to the Biden administration, somehow the peace treaty that Trump negotiated in February 2020 has led this administration to make stupid decisions. Blinken said, quote, had he, Biden, not followed through on his predecessor, Trump's commitment, attacks on our forces and those of our allies would have resumed, and the Taliban's nationwide assaults on Afghanistan's major cities would have commenced. There is no information that exists that has any evidence that if we hadn't have pulled out of Afghanistan in an airheaded, chaotic way, that the peace treaty Trump negotiated between the Afghan government and the Taliban would have been broken and terrorist attacks all over Afghanistan would have ensued. That's a cop-out, and Blinken knows it. Reason number four, Blinken is a liar. One day he said he wasn't aware that there was a hostage situation with Americans involved. And then the next day he admitted to knowing it, but still downplayed it. He left hundreds of Americans in Afghanistan and then had the nerve to hold a press conference and call the rescue of Americans out of Afghanistan a success. He didn't recognize the Taliban as a terrorist organization, which left the door open for them being the legitimate government of Afghanistan. Listen, Americans didn't vote for Antony Blinken. He's a bureaucrat that doesn't have to answer to the American people, hence the reason he can be sucky at his job and still keep it. To the Biden administration, there were only two choices in this pullout of Afghanistan. Pull out in a chaotic manner or keep going on in a forever war. That is the epitome of shallow, lazy thinking. None of these people are fit to serve the American people. And if you ask me, they all need to go. But let's start with Antony Blinken. One of the ways that we can make America safer is by electing conservatives who are going to keep bureaucrats like Blinken accountable. Well, that's the rundown, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I'm sad because I didn't really get to do my walk away thing because I'm sitting down. I guess I could try. Well, that's the rundown, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.